My name is Darren Johnson, and I'm editor of the Legislative Gazette here in Albany, New York. It's a program of the journalism department at SUNY New Paltz. It is an important facet in the growth of journalism students at New Paltz. We're here in Empire State Plaza, and we're in the Capitol with an OL, and we are 100 yards away from where all the action is. You can just walk through an underground mall of sorts and go to the Capitol, go to the governor's office, go to the assembly. If you're a journalism or communication student, you apply through the DMJ department. You fill out an internship form, and you also apply to me at the same time. You send me your resume.
So my name is Kira Higby. I'm attending SUNY New Paltz as a journalism major, and I graduate in 2026.
If you're not a New Paltz student, you should contact me, but also contact your advisor on campus.
I learned about the Legislative Gazette through my school, University at Albany. I received the email about it, and I read up on it, and I found out it was very interesting.
We do all kinds of trainings. We're doing database training on how to follow a bill when it goes from being a bill to a law, and how a journalist can use research to improve their articles.
My name is Jack Stegmeyer. I'm an international relations and journalism major. I'm studying at SUNY New Paltz, and I'm from Saugerties, New York.
You'll meet lots of people in government and journalism, and if you're interested in any of those two fields, that's a great way to network. Albany is, outside of New York City, is probably the number one place to get a job in this New York State.
My other major, international relations, is like very politics focused. I thought it was like a good combo of that field with journalism. So I was looking forward to like learning more about political writing.
We get notices on days when the legislature's in session or when the governor is doing something, and we can send student reporters to cover the movers and shakers here in Albany.
One story I'm really interested in covering, recently Mayor Mamdani was at the Capitol for a Tin Cup Day, and me and some colleagues covered a press conference for him, and we also covered a budget hearing he was involved in.
Going to a press conference, it is a little bit scary the first time because everyone there feels a lot more official, but then eventually it kind of feels like I'm supposed to be here, like I'm meant to be here and be doing the same thing as other people.
So we have a lot of journalism alumni that think very fondly of this program.
I was a political science major at SUNY Geneseo and had no real intentions of going into journalism. And so I was looking for something to do after I graduated in 2009. And my mom actually had just sort of stumbled across the Legislative Gazette, something I didn't know anything about. Ended up applying, and I was part of the first ever summer internship class.
I would suggest at least doing 3 or 4 credits, and that would entail coming in at least one day a week during the semester, coming up to Albany, and our students carpool. They figure out a way to get here.
I'm hoping to gain more qualities of like editing and grammar checking. I'm also want to gain more qualities of like talking to other people, communicating with other people, having them look over my work and see if it's really good and good to publish.
Important skills I've learned in editing is familiarize yourself with AP style, which read the AP style book. You don't have to read it cover to cover, but do familiarize yourself with it. Familiarize yourself with, your local politicians and the politicians that are here.
My hope is kind of with the internship, I'll get more comfortable at bringing questions to very important people and kind of pushing for an answer.
We're a viable newspaper here in the Capitol, and we can use all kinds of interns here at the Legislative Gazette. We can use graphic designers. We can use business marketing people to help promote us, to maybe, we'd like to come out with ad-supported venues and maybe to help us with that. So we could also use people from the business end, but we do need reporters, and reporters are kind of our lifeblood, and they help put us out there. We have a website. We're trying to increase the number of venues that we have, make our podcast more viable, hopefully come out with a print edition, and do some other things too that make us more of a full-fledged news operation.